Hi and welcome. My name is Katrina and this is our Vampire the Masquerade stream, The Interludes. Scenes that take place between the end of Season 2 and the start of Season 3. At the moment, we're having a little short story within the interludes that is titled The Guest. And at the moment, I'm only having two of my beautiful players with me. And I'm stressing at the moment as they delve into this little story that takes place in year 3. Mind you, there are 2 more years, and well, we're not far off the start of Season 3. We're not going to go into such great detail of the last years, but right now we are, because I have decided, and that's what we're doing. So we are focusing on a story that involves Siobhan and Chris. But before we continue where we left off last episode, I would very much like them to introduce themselves as well as their characters.
Hi, I'm Marianne. I play Siobhan Price. Oh my god, I've been doing so well. Okay. Siobhan Price, aka Shiv, 10th generation Toreador and Primogen.
Hi, I'm Tarjei. I'm playing Christopher Masters, a 10th generation Manchurian prince of the city of Boston. And I don't know, Marina, maybe you should just change the name of your gallery to the Price instead of the York. Though of course it might be a bit awkward calling your hotel P.
Oh, how long have you been sitting on that one? Oh, that's such a dad joke. I love it. I love it.
TP? No.
TB. Where we left off last episode is guest has arrived to the city. Interesting guests that have decided for whatever reason not to go directly to the prince and introduce themselves. They have, on the other hand, decided to make Shiv their priority. Maybe it's a great master plan, maybe it's a covert insult, maybe it's a straight out insult, maybe it's ignorance. Well, they don't know yet, do they? We're going to jump into this night as Christopher Masters, the Prince of the City, is in the car with JJ before he has picked up the Winters, as I have understood.
Yeah, we're gonna pick the Winters up on time, and we're gonna pick Miss Savage up a little after range time. She can
all right. Well,
wait a little bit.
Well, before we delve into the scene with Shiv and Alexander, well, because he is the prince, and this has been the modus operandi for a couple of episodes, Chris, the floor is now yours as you sit in the car with JJ driving for the winter.
Quietly to himself first he mutters, "Now I know how Bilbo felt." Okay. I'm not going to tell the others, but I'm fairly certain I'm going to 86 their asses, JJ.
Really?
I don't trust them bringing gifts and going to Siobhan first. I don't know. I got a strong sense of feeling that I should, or at least, treat them as shabbily as they treated us and send them packing. We'll see, but let's just say they'll have to work hard to impress me.
I understand you, sir, and of course I will support any decision that you so make. It would be interesting, though, to see and understand why they have decided to, enter the city in such a manner.
That is correct. I mean, normally I would be all for keeping your friends close but your enemy closer, but sometimes it's best not to let the snake into the garden. But we'll see. We'll play it a bit by ear. But you have a good point. It is highly irregular.
Well, I know Montgomery Masters wouldn't even entertain them, but then again, his paranoia got the better of him.
I understand his position, and I also understand his reason. Well, he had reasons to be paranoid as well. There was someone after him, but
if I can say anything,
the world is changing, and if we don't change with it, we will all be things of the past.
Exactly, as I was about to utter to you, sir. Ophelia's modus operandi was always a cautious, clever one. She firmly believed that if they were vile and wanted ill intent, if she could just deal with them directly, she would figure it out.
It will be interesting to see, but this whole gift-giving business, I don't know.
Well, as I understood, sir, the gifts were precious. Why part with such a thing if they didn't want your attention? It seems...
True that, but why not dispatch them with some sort of card and introduction instead of just dropping them off as making you wonder are they gifts or are they warnings? Then again, maybe I'm being a bit paranoid from my old days.
She laughs. Well, you could look at it in another way, my liege. Would you really have given them such an interest if they did just give it off with a card? Would you then be willing to meet in such a manner?
That's another point, isn't it? Why such a manner, as you pointed out? We'll put them on it. We'll discuss it a bit with the others as well on the way, but do not be surprised if I turn them away. I feel something...
It is your right, my liege. Of course, this is your right. You are the keeper of this city. I trust in your decision. Here we are at the Winter's estate.
See.
As you have arrived in the midst of Beacon Hill. Beautiful Victorian. But you have been here before. No, you have not. Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Yeah, because I was at her.
Nope. No. But you have.
That's in the future.
But you have.
This is in the future. First time, actually. Well, no one ever said they didn't have good taste.
Mere moments later, promptly on time, she glides out in her typical attire. She's wearing some sort of a fur shawl, lots of necklaces, a very fitted, very ornate gown.
And Chris can't help himself. Coming from his particular brand of upbringing, so he's gonna step out of the car and hold the door open for her.
She gives you the most politest of nods. My prince. How courteous. You do know how to treat a lady.
Of course, my dear.
Take a seat. Glides in.
And let's get in. We're going to pick up Miss Savage as well.
Yes, and why?
Let's just say I felt like bringing a bit of weight to the meeting.
Yes.
This is a highly regular way of introducing oneself to the city, and I thought, well, let's show them a united front.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense, politically speaking. Of course, I understand why you want me there.
Oh, yes, that's a bit of a different matter. Actually, I was going to send you over to Siobhan's place anyway. You see, they sent a gift last night for it, and
are we worried about
I wanted you to check it out as well.
Of course.
Well, I was more worried when I didn't know who it came from, what it meant, and why it was sent to me. A bit more cleared up now, less worried, more curious now. But it was of some antiquity, Egyptian, I believe, a form of scarab. I gave it to Shiv to have a look at it, but it seemed to have the most strange effect on her. She seemed unwilling to hand it back, claiming she needed to look at it more closely, which might have been the truth and might not. So I was half mind of asking you to take a look at it as well.
Interesting, of course.
We can take that after the meeting.
Have you given the name of this individual?
Yes, I understand his name was Casta, and the player has forgotten his first. Philip, yeah. Philip Casta. Did she also a bit of a blank spot there. Did she give me the clan?
My mind's drawing a blank. Did Shiv?
I can't remember she did. I don't think you did. I can't remember for sure, but I don't think you did.
you see, that name sounds familiar to me.
Any connection to this? And I hand her the pamphlet.
She grabs it and looks at it. Oh, right.
Brings out something familiar, does it?
Yes, it does. In another city, in another time, this Mr. Castor and his crew of riffraffians and their exhibition stirred quite the ruckus and was thoroughly investigated. What he says is absolute bunkers and has no value. He is a fanatic.
Oh, great. Another one. What is with this city and attracting those?
Well, I can't even. I have to be clear. He has somewhat of a cult surrounding his person.
But is
Or the
he
person-
loyal to any organization? I mean, is he...
He follows. Oh,
has he
he is. He follows the Book of Nod. He follows our law, and he obeys by the rule. He was thoroughly investigated, and no breach was deemed. Though what he says and what he believes is for many a kindred an insult, and he is a bit of a provocateur. He's not an easy person to have in your city, my prince.
So, sending him packing might be a good idea, I mean.
I would show him the door immediately, my liege.
May I ask two things? First of all, you didn't mention his clan.
Oh, he is.
Tell me it's another brew,
No.
I say.
No, he's one of the Shadow Masters. He would hail to the clan of the La Sombra.
Interesting. Their loyalties are split, to put it mildly. But not affiliated to the Annex, I gather then, since he was thoroughly wetted.
We, and she almost misspoke. He was deemed not a threat to the Camarilla.
Excellent. And may I, if you feel you cannot divulge, I perfectly understand. But may I ask for which city this was? I might come in handy in dealing with him.
This was in Chicago.
Do I have any knowledge about Chicago, Mrs.
No,
Storyteller?
no, not really.
No.
And you don't even know what time period this is. This could be 50 years ago.
No,
this
no,
could
I
be...
mean, judging by the car, it could be in the
You
1930s.
don't know. Yeah, you don't know. Well, a little bit late, you pick up Savage, and she grumbles.
Terribly sorry, Miss Savage. There's been some development. I believe the Winters here can fill you in on who's decided to grace our city with its presence.
And as that information is being relayed, the camera will pan out and beautifully land its gaze upon the Y.
Through materials which I can't remember what it's called, and it's kind of like
Siobhan?
embroidered, like
It's called Siobhan! Chiffon!
seriously,
Chiffon!
chiffon,
Chiffon!
not chiffon.
No, chiffon! Woohoo! Temple. Yeah.
Like it's like large, like flowers, like big flowers, like stretching from floor to up here, and it's kind of structured. But it's embroidered with beads in different colors. So yeah, a lot of see-through bits, but a lot of beads and like, I don't know, ribbons.
Ribbons.
That's kind of dividing the structure, making it very structured. Jesus, I'm amazing. My words today.
So it's very structured and it's very crafty and it's a
Yeah,
beautiful
and she
piece
has her
of
hair
art.
up and probably some emerald earrings, like
Dripping down.
yes,
Maybe
yes,
something she inherited from Diana.
maybe, yeah. And
Maybe.
obviously, I have the same necklaces that I always have.
Of course.
Yeah.
Alexander, well, you look absolutely divine.
I do a little troll. Is it acceptable for you?
Well, it would be acceptable for anyone that has eyes, my dear. You look ravaging, as you should.
So do you.
I have sent my personal ball to, well, make them comfortable.
Good.
I had a quick little glance, though.
At what? At who's coming?
It's very exotic. Shit.
Are you regretting saying yes?
No, I am absolutely thrilled and fascinated. Like any night that can give me, well, something interesting, I'm here for. Like, bring me my popcorn.
It's exactly what I thought. Oh, I shouldn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it is fascinating that I have this, well, him, they. I don't know how many of our kind we're speaking of.
I mean, no, I actually don't. 2 seconds, and I'll call for Eve.
Mistress.
Do you know exactly how many they are in the party?
About
Of
20.
how many kindred and how many kin?
I wish I would know, mistress. I do not.
Do you have a list? Do we have any names apart from his and hers?
Yes. She gives you
That
a-
help you, Alex? You know this more than me. I mean,
I can have a gander.
will you,
Hold.
Eve?
Hold. Yeah. Oh, good. 4 successes. I look sudden. No names really speak to me except for this Philip Castor, which I presume is the leader of the pack.
It is.
Well, his name has been floating about for some time.
How long exactly?
Yes, I know, yes, at least 30, 40 years. But that he would find his way here is interesting. I thought Europe was his stomping ground.
I mean, I'm guessing I know of which clan he hails from, but I didn't know much about their presence here.
No, it's strange. But then again, like, who knows what these, I don't know, vagabonds,
Yeah.
charlatans. I don't know. I'm not going to be rude. I know nothing
I mean,
of them.
it's not my town he's visiting. Exactly.
Indeed, it is not.
It is only our house, is it not? And now
very, very, very
yours.
true. Oh, very true indeed. We can make or break this evening. I know a little bit of him, though. He is, well, if the rumors are true, and this is the Castro, he has a very powerful presence, and individuals tend to gather around him. He believes himself to be a reincarnation of some sort. I know he has ruffled the feathers of a higher kindred, another city, with what he believes in. But his head is still on his shoulders, so he couldn't be ruffling too hard, could he now?
No. Still interesting that he is there. But yeah, he did. He was an interesting persona. It's.
Oh,
I don't find it. I don't find it hard to imagine that actually. He did have an aura about him.
I'm fascinated. I'm elated. I'm excited.
Me too. And I'm so excited to see Chris and whoever he brings. I'm sure JJ will be there.
Of course, he's gonna drag along that ghastly Miss Savage.
Oh,
But dearest Shiv, Shiv, be kind.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
I am nothing but kind and polite.
He almost like elegantly friendly strokes your cheek. You don't need to be intimidating to prove a point.
When am I intimidating? Just too kind, Alex.
Like, just a friendly advice. I think this could be a very interesting evening.
It is your house, your rules, and I will
Well,
obey.
then, as the king of my domain, I deem you, Siobhan Price, to be kind and delicate as a daisy.
You're too cute. I pinch his cheek and then I'll go into the elevator.
He walks with you. Because I don't want to be thrown, like we have to throw everybody out if it turns sour.
It is your prerogative.
It is, but well, then again, the prince is there.
Well, still your house.
True. I just don't want to cut the evening short. You know, this is the most interesting thing that's happened in ages.
Don't worry, Alex. Nothing wrong will happen.
Good. You see, he's like excited about this. It's gossip. It's tantalizing. It's for Tordor Harpy. This is the bee's knees. So he's like, please don't go. Like, don't make such a scene that everything is shut down before we get to the goodies.
I promise I will try to behave my best.
Right. I heard best and behave. I'm going to ignore the rest. This is going to be excellent. We pan out to the car as information has been relayed, and you arrive at the Y.
Right. It's just then, well, ladies, let's do this.
Savage
Let's try not
is,
to
yeah. Savage is in a blue trench coat. Underneath, she's got a silk blue power suit, long pants, and she looks a little bit not annoyed, but she has this glare of suspicion about her.
Chris is wearing a black suit, like jet black. Actually, it's actually one that's, though he is of Italian heritage, he tends to wear American cut suits, but this is actually the classic Italian, European cut suit instead. It's a purple shirt, being the color of royalty. Black vest. And tie or no tie? That's a good question. Tie. Deep blood red.
Oh,
tie.
look at him! He's been fancy.
And cufflinks. And the cufflinks are the sigil of, or symbol of the Ventru. The saps are on them.
Well, Alexander, he's wearing a grey suit, a bright pink shirt, no tie, slightly open, like 2 buttons down, and dark brown shoes. The winter I have described. You two are standing in the foyer as you see the entourage of the prince.
I didn't know he was bringing all of them.
Oh, let's make nice. And he shoves you a little bit on the
Big
butt.
smiles.
Big smiles. Alexander steps forwards. Oh, dearest prince of princes.
Good
I'm
evening,
elated.
Alexander. Floppy. Excellent. Well, thank you for meeting us and greeting us. Have you found a suitable place for this little tete-a-tete?
Yes, we have. And I'll go over and kiss your cheeks. Hi,
Kiss
Chris.
her back. And,
My prince and all.
hold her a little bit on the shirt. Put my hands on her shoulders and like the way you look at someone you feel like I haven't seen them for a long time. Like you really friendly introduce them. Oh shit, dearest of all my friends. And she probably knows him that well if he's playing coy like that. And
It's definitely like a play for the gallery.
yeah. Like, and he generally doesn't do it. I mean, it's not something he does often. So it's like, why?
Well, we have found the perfect spot. And that is...
Let me guide you, dearest prince, into the velvet rope. I am sure, and I will promise you your guests are well taken care of and are quite comfortable.
Excellent. Much appreciated. And as they walk, the only thing that Chris is thinking when he's heading towards the rope is the most wretched den of high scum and villainy. Actually, it's probably more thinking that, well, thank God it's not a dance floor and Sean isn't here.
Very true.
I'll greet everyone else very politely.
On that note, we're just going to have a quick break. And we will be back in 2 minutes. Just because this is the perfect place to have a tiny break. Back in a few. Hi, and welcome back from the break. We're going to go directly into the scene where this entourage is getting ready to enter the velvet rope to greet the new guests that have arrived to the city. I am sure Alexander and Shiv may be accompanied by the prince himself, or he is maybe a step behind. I am a little bit unsure how you are, like the spacing of these individuals as they go through the little hall that takes them in to the velvet rope.
Probably Alexander first, then
Yeah.
with the prince, because they were walking. He was like showing me way when Shiv stopped to greet the others, so she'll probably come like the group, the rest. So
Probably the last, actually. So it's very split.
The first thing that hits the senses is a bass. The bass line of music. And the music is, at this point, is actually the Sweet Dreams Are Made of These.
Good taste.
I know.
I like.
Yes. Annie Lennox. No? Yes, it is Annie Lennox. Sweet Dreams Are Made of These. Beautiful. I love it. It is loud and it almost seeps through your pores. The light is dim, like a nightclub feel to it. There are bodies, well, laid everywhere, seated, looking onto the dance floor. They are dressed in every manner. Some in suits, some almost gypsy-like, some more punk-ish, some almost like in a summer dress, like a hippie feel to it, sitting with crossed knees and staring at the dance floor. On the dance floor, clearly enthralled in her own movement, is a beautiful Mediterranean or Latin girl with hair that reaches to her waist. She's almost wearing a see-through pink silk-like shell-like top. And these beads, almost like the gypsy-like belly dancer belts around her waist, and very flowy skirts, barefoot. And she dances almost like real ritualistic, almost like a belly dancer, but more almost like she's speaking. She's telling something, and the onlookers are enthralled as she moves to the music. She catches someone's eyes, probably more than others. To the bar, on the bar stool, a very white-haired, greyish white-haired man sits in a suit, holding a cane. One eye is completely dead. Smiling and staring in reverie at this beautiful creature moving to "Sweet dreams are made of these."
As you walk in, I mean, Chris isn't like traditionally music, like anything frivolous really has never really been his sort of thing. He's also been so focused and driven. So when he's in the last couple of years tried to make an effort to be more cultivated and learned, he generally has gone for the more classical aspect of it. I mean, he probably just picked up like how to be a snob and
snobbish ways.
Yeah, and probably just read the distinction, just trying to find out how to classify people for. The music probably wasn't his.
No, but it's.
Probably didn't hate it, but it's not his thing. But
it's when you get a little bit close, it's the scent of her that freaks him out.
So it looks at the. So for a second, and then like forces himself to look away, but like he can feel in himself deep inside there's a voice growing in the back of his mind.
Oh yeah, she's
those veins.
Oh,
we want it.
He screams.
And I look towards the man sitting at the bar, and the beast inside of him is just, forget that bag of bones, that old dried up thing. The stage. Look to the stage. We want.
She's captivated. Alexander walks in. For a minute, it seems that the prince is fixated. It is a very strong, compelling thing, because she smells in a way that Christopher actually, when it comes to the Italian blood, she smells like the most beautiful wine. Yeah, no, but like it's a Bordeaux. It's a Chianti that's had aged beautifully. She is all the things that your palate.
An aged Barbrasco.
I think Shiv is like, as she hears the music going in, she's going to like hear bop and kind of, sing along to the song. And if she sees Callisto on the dance floor, she's going to go like, she knows she's not going to be dancing, but she's going to go towards her and do a little dancing with her before she's going to join the other ones.
Oh, as she do so, it's almost like she gets aware of you and she grabs you. And when she grabs you, for a minute, you feel incredibly connected. Like she looks into your eyes, like she looks into your soul. And you feel suited somehow.
She's using some powers level?
Perhaps.
Can I?
Yep, you can.
Sorry, but that is too interesting not to roll on. Oh, where's my dice? What do I roll on this? Do I use Auspic? No, I don't, because it's like wisdom or something.
You can use insight. Wits insight.
Yep. How hungry am I? Am I a hungry hippo or am I? Okay. Well, I have a 4.
Yeah, because did you fail your rouse check the last morning? No? Did you? Yes? No?
What?
No.
We didn't do one.
Didn't we? No. But anyway. No. But I will remember now.
I can do one.
No.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
No, we're good. How many did you get?
4.
She looks like at you in the way that sometimes Trixie did, like when they have this capability to look beyond in you.
I'll probably linger for just like a little longer than Shiv thought appropriate for this kind of thing.
Because you get taken aback because it feels
Yeah.
like you're like, oh, it's just, and then the warmth of her hands and the warmth of her gaze. It's almost like you also understand why all these onlookers are staring in revere and pleasure. It's like, shit, I kind of get it. It's like, I get it. There's something here. There's something here.
And probably Shiv probably has a inclination to Chris's taste.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, does she? Does she know? Does she?
No, he's
Does he?
kept
I
his,
mean,
like,
if
keeping his
she
food, keeping his like feeding preferences or restrictions is probably something he's been very careful about.
Yeah, so you can-
Yeah, no,
Especially
not
especially
like
since his
that.
feeding is.
But she knew Chris from before, so kind of
Yeah.
like this would be to his taste before, then it's probably to his taste now, more that kind of
I think you could.
thing.
Yeah, he really wasn't that most one that dated the most. I mean, you know that he had a. Like, he really was awkward. It's probably the right word. Or like not open. Like, he wasn't the one that dated the most. Like, he was
No.
forceful, Like, he was, yeah. So, but like, first of all, well, he's a man. He's Italian. I mean, I think it's safe to assume that wouldn't she be pretty much?
She's a
anyone's
beautiful girl. So
like
mhm.
yeah, like
It might
you
also
can
be
assume
'cause-
that it would have had a
And
factor
maybe I've
in
seen,
life.
I don't know.
Now maybe because
it's-
this creature's free, which she is not. Like,
I mean, she is the polar opposite, of Elizabeth Fairchild in that sense. But that also could, I mean, wouldn't that also probably be something, like, you don't know what's happened between them, but you know it's soured, so wouldn't also polar opposite be something that would be more desirable than someone who would look just like
And
her?
obviously not Miss Savage. I think
Exactly. Yeah. Like, and they are the complete opposite of that as well. So,
Yeah.
so in those, like, I think she's smart. She is smart. I think she would be like not necessarily thinking that this would be like his feeding preferences or his like girlfriend, but he knows that
No,
this would appeal
but
more to him
to
than
his
pretty much
taste.
anything else
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
that could have been.
Savage follows suit and actually stands beside Devinta. And Devinta is staring fascinated at the scene. And Alexander, on the other hand, turns off the music.
I let my eyes glide from head to toe over to of the man at the bar, forcing himself to keep an eye on the price to be on point, but every other sense in him, like his desire, his smell, his ears, are like everything else is focused. Yeah, like focusing towards that direction, but he's forcing his head and his eyes to focus on the man, and it takes pretty much all his willpower to do so.
Yeah, you can do it. It does a rouse check actually. The last like sound as the music is cut is like you hear like the little like metal beads and almost like little medallions in her more belly dancer skirt, like make this clinging sound, and her barefoot feet on the dance floor like before she stops twirling and moving, and almost like a sigh of sadness of the onlookers. And then this Mr. Castor, he gets up, almost frail looking as he leans on the cane. And he walks over and he gets down and he takes like a knee.
I think a smile. Please stand.
You see, he struggles for a minute. Clearly, one of his like knee is absolute doesn't work
I'll actually stretch out her hands, like not towards him like he told him, but like if he needs to grab on
And he's
for
like,
support, he can.
"Oh, Prince, don't sully yourself with the likes of me." And he gets up.
Oh, don't be silly. You are new to this city. Yes, I'm sure you've traveled long and are weary. Please, let us sit.
Excellent. I'm sorry if it's disturbing with my congregation. Should I make them leave for the suite?
Oh, it's not necessary, but perhaps it would be easier for all of us to talk with a little less onlookers. But
Of course.
but you don't need to send them all if any one of them are particular servants or.
Oh, I would
person.
very
They are
much.
valuable.
Yes, there's the beauty on the dance floor. Callisto.
Oh, of course. No, please let us stay, please.
Of course. Of course. Of course, my prince. He knocks the cane in the floor and he looks to his congregation. It's like, you may retire, young ones. And they bow. Again and again they bow, but they do not say Mr. Castro. They call him Nefer Armanhotep. All of them go over and kiss his hand. All 20 of them say Nefer Armanhotep.
As they pass by him, they pass by us fairly close as well. Do I have any inclination? Do I sense breathing pulses? Do they look?
All have
human?
pulses.
Okay,
All have
All
pulses.
pulses. Good.
All have.
Good.
All of them.
Reassuring. Just reassuring. Because the thought of suddenly having 20 younglings running around might have made him go all Anakin on their asses.
Miss Savage and Mr. Winter are clearly just standing behind you and observing, not overstepping. The prince is speaking.
I'm gonna wait until the entourage is out the door, and as soon as the last one is out, I will turn around and introduce them. And I will
Before you do
them,
so, this Arya Callisto comes running over. That you hear the bouncing of like the coins on the skirt again, and she stops. Hair bounces around, and she prints, and she drops to the floor, and she kisses her hands and kisses the feet 3 times.
Oh, you honor me, but please do not bow. Stand, and I'll reach down with both hands, like to help her stand up again.
And when you grab her, you get the same weird sensation. But when you're staring into her eye for a second, it's almost like she's staring into you, and you feel incredibly naked all of a sudden.
Does that apply? Like he feels it as well, but how does the beast react to it? It's like
The beast
scared of being being revealed. It's like it's a recoiling.
The beast freaks out, and you hear slamming of doors. It's almost like you feel like almost like Nikita wandering around inside you in memories, and your mum dying, and Olivia giving you life, and the sadness when she left. Your father's memory in the prison, and the forgotten gift in the attic.
He quickly tried to, shift back to some other childhood memory further back, as the last thing he wants after, taking a look at what happened to his mother, last thing he wants to do is draw any attention to his father in prison, where he's a sitting duck for whoever wants to come after his remaining close family. So that really probably frightens him. Actually frightens him, because that's something he's been doing his best to keep.
Well, then
away.
you have to keep face safe, so you need to do some rolling. You have to do some rolling, because I'm doing some rolling.
Is it resolve composure or what?
Yeah, if it's just keeping in control, it can be resolve. If it's let me get the character sheet up.
It's resolve composure, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think it is. I can't think it should be anything else but resolve composure.
It is.
Yeah, but then it is. Then it is. I can't think of anything else. She's just like, it is. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was just like trying to be polite, just like, is it?
It is. I was like, oh, could it be something else? Like, no.
Sorry. It is the one thing I know.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, only 3 successes. That's not particularly well. I think he's...
It's just like you just feel your body go weird, and her hands are so warm, and she smells so beautiful, but there's something very daunting about this creature.
more than
About
she
this woman.
seems. Sort of in
Yeah.
the same way that Trixie was more than she seemed.
Yeah.
It's just...
You get the same feeling that she's almost like she's going to call for something. Like, can you hear it?
And if I hear running horses no, I'm going to kill the GM.
No, you do not. And she steps.
Well.
She holds your hands almost like she rubs them like very warmly, like almost as she tighten for a minute, and she lets go and she bows again and she takes a step back to the side of Miss Casa.
I think since he only got 3 in resolve, at that point when he's holding that he actually sort of like didn't really hold them, and like was hold, like, if you understand, he doesn't no longer hold her hand. He's just got sort of limp in them. That's the sort of way she loses control. So when she clamps back on like that, it really he notices.
Snaps back into it.
Can I see this? Can I see this?
Do the thing, because I'll be doing some things.
Yeah. That's the one. So nope.
Nope. Nope. That was actually no successes on one of my rolls. None.
You're safe for now.
Imagine if I had a bestial failure on that composure roll and just ripped her throat out then and there. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, Mr. Casa then takes the word. There's Prince. I know this probably feels like an insult that we have overstepped our welcome even before we have been welcomed by you.
Oh, don't worry about that. These are interesting times after all. But where are my manners? Please allow me to introduce you to Miss Savage, Miss DeVinter. Is JJ standing behind us or to the side?
Oh yeah, she's standing by the door, like leaning and looking at the whole scene.
And of course, last but not least, my trusted JJ.
She just nods. I see you surround yourself with the most exquisite of powerful females. I commend you.
I am lucky in having capable, intelligent, and good friends. Mr. Winter here serves the city in her capacity as an expert on matters occult, and Miss Savage here is the primogen of the Venture clan.
Where are my manners? He smiles. You see the dead eye just fixed in a position. The other eye it bounces between blue and brown. It's bizarre. He has this like David Bowie kind of appearance to him, with that long blonde hair, very much from the Labyrinth, but not the big hair.
Yeah, like Philip Jeffries.
Yeah, and he's Primogen Savage. It's an honor. De Winter. Your name, well, precedes you. Not precedes you, but what's the word when it's... Yeah, precedes you.
Mm.
You are known, and known of, and spoken of in high regard. Well, that's very kind of you, Mr. Castor. I must admit, of course, your name has passed my vicinity and person as well. And then there's a lot of dialogue, but they're not saying anything.
Yeah. So, please let us sit. So, what brings you to the city, Mr. Castor?
He looks on to all these individuals around. I understand that you want to do this in the proper manner with a proper entourage. And powerful individuals of the kindreds of this city. again, it's probably within my welcome to ask if it was a bit more of a private affair.
Oh no, I'm sure that can be arranged. Why don't we retire to one of the... Because I'm remembering right that you had like... Shiv had arranged for some more private booths, sort of like with sort of like doors almost in the velvet rope that you could retire to, hadn't she? When she refurbished it?
Yes, but I don't know if Alex changed. He had a lot of changes that he wanted to do. I don't know if that included that. But it wasn't, the private booths were just like with textiles, like with fabric.
Yeah.
It wasn't with doors or anything.
No. It's not like separate rooms, but
no.
Enough to give privacy. I mean,
Yes, we have, Alexander says.
Excellent. And I'm sure Mr. Winter and Miss Savage do not mind.
You seem almost like Savage, but... Okay, yeah, sure. I'll just get on my phone. I had a meeting I'm missing, and she's like clearly like scuffling over this like silliness of time wasting. I gotta call my accountant. Winter, of course, my prince. I am here to assist you in any shape, size, or form that you require of me.
Excellent.
I'm happy to keep Miss Savage company.
When he says private, Miss Ladon, does he bring Khalistan and does he bring the Toreadors, or is it just him and the prince?
No, he's saying I would very much like Miss Price, and of course my dearest Callisto to come with.
Then I don't need to find my...
We are, after all, in the domain of the Toreadors. And he gives a smile.
Alexander walks down the hall, which takes you down to the garage, but also up to Aiden's old apartment. The garage has changed. Half of it now is garage, but you can't see it. There's a big ass wall there. The rest is a private, almost like hookah lounge, because that was very in the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like very, very Arabian Nights, a little bit of a, not like a sex dungeon, but a little bit of a private affair. A little bit sexy, a little bit lush.
I'll grab Alex's, like, the back of his hand. Stop him before it. I like what you've done with this.
And we can actually smoke hookah.
Can we?
Yes.
Were you inspired by what we did? No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Cute.
I think it suits. It's for VIPs.
It's very fitting. I like how our places have this common theme. I love it.
Of course, because we are smart and have taste, he says. He opens the door and you get into this absolutely lush, beautiful environment. And he's, there's a little buzzer on the table. And if you need anything, I will come running immediately.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you very much, Alexander. You've been the utmost perfection of hosts.
Well, that is my job, my prince.
And as I sit down,
and almost like he's like, ugh, I wish I was in this meeting, and he's like, almost shutting
the like Chris is thinking like, okay, so it's Shiv, it's him, it's Casa, and it's
Callisto.
Chris probably would if Callisto hadn't been there, he probably would have preferred Alex to be there instead of him as well, because but
you see, she helps him to sit down in this very lush, very soft. Like divan, like these the puffs, what they're called in English? They're called something very specific. Armoire.
No.
Is it a divan? Is it like
these little round
puff
no, it's like a Persian
thing, right?
Pillow, big
round thing.
Anyway, apologies to our English-speaking viewer.
Well,
This is
I
pretty
wanna
much
know.
the antithesis of the sort of style that
Yeah,
Chris
yeah,
is
yeah.
into. Probably because Chris probably is most comfortable in like a bare naked room with a. If he'd still be living with a little tap water and I mean,
Yeah. The
function,
room's-
function,
yeah.
function.
The room smells pleasant and spiced and perfumed, and absolutely, it's a treat for your kindred
Right.
senses. It's like it's colors and tapestry, and it's almost like it's created to create sense of like pleasure for kindreds.
And quite frankly, right now I think all
It's
that's just a
texture.
distraction.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
just like there's just one smell here he is interested in, and he'd prefer to be, like in a clean room
Distracted.
with just that
Yeah,
smell.
yeah, because it actually the beast is not the beast is like growling in the background. You can almost hear him like pacing, almost like he's like he didn't like what you did. But all this distraction is not pleasing because he wants more.
He wants to smell it, to taste it, to drain it.
He gets snapped out of that inward dialogue for the cane of Mr. Cass as he struggles to sit down, and he taps it in a way, and
Yeah.
Listo helps him to sit, and he's like, "Thank you."
When he
Andreas."
sits down, I'll sit down.
Thank you again so much for your hospitality. It is very much appreciated, and the gifts, I assume they were a bit of a well, they put more questions than answers, and a bit of a mystery.
Indeed, indeed. I must confess to just be a humble, simple man, not well versed in both antiquities nor in art. So I had my what's that called in English again? I'm completely stuck. My praise evaluated for me. So far, she has not succeeded in bringing me too much information, I'm afraid. Perhaps one should have chosen someone more knowledgeable in those arts, but still, I'm confident. But
I
am
can-
Tease
appreciative.
me, dear prince.
I can tell you this
It
much.
gives a little smile.
They are priceless.
Well, they are more than that.
They are some of the most valuable pieces in my collection.
I'm
Then
honored,
why-
but it doesn't surprise me that you're a man who would surround yourself with priceless things. And he involuntarily, his eyes flickers just for a little second in a certain person's direction.
You almost like she sees this, and you see a tint of blush in her cheek.
666 on noticing
Number
that.
of the beast.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think that was particularly subtle either.
I
Like,
don't
you can
care.
see-
I wanted to roll on it, and I did. So
You clearly see that his eyes drifts away, not planned. It doesn't look planned. Like what he's saying seems very deliberate and chosen, like to emphasize that yes, I mean her, but
you
looking
meant
at
to
her probably
compliment
wasn't-
him, but you kind of
Yeah, but yeah, and also probably convey that he understands that there's more to her than just her looks, but his eyes sort of betrayed him.
I needed to get your attention.
And my attention you have, sir.
You both sit on something valuable.
Can you be more specific?
I will get to this. There's a lot of explaining to do, you see. I don't know if you know much of me. I'm sure De Winter has relayed some information. Being that I have been
Yes.
investigated, I will be quite frank.
Yes,
have been
understand that
investigated.
for nothing.
By just a cause. And not many kindreds can say they have survived such an in-depth investigation. I am
Certainly.
loyal to the Camarilla, of course. But I
Pleases to hear that.
am a very religious man.
Well, this
Not
is
in the
a
religion.
land of...
He's like, no, I'm not a Catholic boy.
Well, we do have religion freedom in this country. It is something of which it was founded on, and I see no reason why our society should not reciprocate that.
Well, good, glad to hear it, because I am a firm believer in the rules and the laws of Cain.
I understand that completely.
And I believe there's a lot of tombs and stories of Cain that is not contained within the books and tombs that we have available. And I have spent my life, my undead life, researching it. Because I felt this enormous, compelling need that I cannot explain until... And then he grabs Callisto's hand. Until I met this creature. And she explained it all to me. And now I know.
How? How is she? I looked to her. Able to do that for you?
She is a medium.
To what?
She
To
is
whom?
water. She is the black cat. She is the one that can go in between.
Shiv has been digging a lot into the
Yeah.
reading, and I think she wasn't very religious before, but I think if she's very curious into this whole
Okay, I can tell
Like,
you this, and also you know this.
more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
she might want to, but she
Uh,
is super intrigued.
yeah. If you have learned anything about Lasombras, like Lasombra in this world, they their powers hail from the oblivion. They can control most of their power that their powers, small and large, goes to wraiths, ghosts, the in-between, the Shadowland. They are a part of this emotionless, non-resonant power. It is alien, occult, and hurts humanity. But that's him.
The reason why I'm saying it is because I think Shiv is a little bit more unwillingly interested
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 on composure on this, so
Okay, but you are not very composed.
no.
You
So
are
I'm
leaning in,
very,
and your
yeah.
eyes are big, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what is this gift horse, and why am I so freaking fascinated?
Yeah.
It's almost like you can hear your beast. It's like, is this another option? Is this another way? Listen. She growls at you.
Well, she'd better get in line, because I have a ghost that needs to be ventilated.
And I said, well, until I met my dearest Callisto, I didn't understand my purpose, and now I know. She said she's a medium, and she could tell me why I felt so connected to the old tales. And please, do not judge me for the next things I will relay to you. This is my belief, and I believe it firmly. And this is what got me into trouble with the Camarilla. I believe that a part of me is reincarnated. I believe a part of me is a lost child of Cain. What he's saying is kind of blasphemy. So you kind of understand why the Justicars went like, yeah, what the hell are you saying, dude? We're kind of not into this.
Oh yeah, well, from Chris, I mean, I think he firmly believes in God naturally, but he's always been a sort of the sort of Catholic that as long as you went to mass and confessed your sins, you pretty much could do whatever the hell you else wanted. I mean, being from organized crime sort of life, that's a sort of, plus that is the Boston way. Pretty much
5 Hail Marys and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He...
But after being embraced in turn, he firmly believes that kindred are cursed by God. Doesn't necessarily make them evil. It means they have to be bad. You do what you want to do, but you are like, just like man was banished from the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Thus we are banished from the grace of God and God's love.
Yeah.
Other than that, people can believe whatever the hell they
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
It's
okay.
like he's
So-
very utilitarian.
Okay,
Look
yeah,
at it.
good, because there's more to come. It's like, so when you sit with this information, I will relay the next part of it. I have in my possession what I firmly believe is the petrified body. My body. Cain's lost child. What we refer to as the Red Mummy.
Pardon me, in my
And that's
lack of
bananas.
knowledge. But
Well,
but
he's not
which
the only
lost
one who's got
child are you speaking of?
Well, I firmly believe that Cain had another child. Another bloodline that got lost. I believe that Nefer Amenhotep was one of Cain's first children. I believe that the old gods of Egypt were so insulted, the gods of the kingdom of the dead, that they cursed me and split the soul into two parts. One to be forever reincarnated, would never have peace or solace. The other part stuck in the petrified form of the Red Mummy.
Guess this is very much connected to the gifts that you gave us.
I wanted to show my sincereness.
And Chris just gives plural us.
Oh,
My! Little children keeping secrets.
Yeah!
she was not thinking about that.
I'm just gonna roll a composure to see if he managed to keep it. Oh, baby, yeah, 6 successes. So yeah, that's like file that one under things to bring out in an argument at a later point.
I know this is a lot of information to swallow, to comprehend.
I'll place my hands on
firmly-
his. Not enough, and not too much. You are with friends. You should be able to speak freely with us.
You see, like his eye where the color changes now. It's very, very emotional compared to the dead. I almost like you see a corner, like a red tear, almost like he's emotional.
Mm.
No joke, he's full on emotional. Callisto believes she is a reincarnation of the male lover of Nefer Amenhotep. And this is why she has this information. That the lover escaped the kingdom of the dead to reunite the two parts divided so Nefer could be whole again. Again, this is why I was investigated. The Dussakar deems what I have with the Red Mummy as nothing, as a parlor trick, as a piece of rock, as nothing of value or importance, that there are no mummy or firstborn of Cain within. I think they are wrong. And I understand you would be terrified to bring back such a creature. I understand that. Nobody would want that.
I think we all agree on that list.
I do not
For
wish.
a little second, Chris just thinks. I mean,
There's that. Please, I do not
would be
wish.
a great revenge for everyone. Like an ultimate fuck you to everyone. But tempted. Yes, I can
that-
see that might ruffle a few feathers indeed.
It would be like a vampiric nuke on the society if such a, though grand, powerful, and divine creature, and he's almost like to himself, was fully restored. The only thing I want is that last piece of the soul put back where it belongs, so I can be whole.
To be fully reborn, in a sense.
I feel half a man, half a thing, without it, lost within the winds of time, kept but unkept, denied the valley of the death, even though a part of me is there, locked in torment.
But wouldn't that be as dangerous as... Well, you said no one wants to bring one of the first ones back. Wouldn't that be the same? How would you be able to control that?
This is where my magic, my studies, and my dearest Callisto comes in.
How
And
so?
what also resides within this city.
So that is why you have come.
I just look at him when he says that.
Do you have any idea where in the city you believe this piece of soul might reside?
Well, the soul, I know, I have it.
Mm.
I think it's kept within the Red Mummy, which I have. But to release it, to give it back to me. Certain elements that are very rare, extremely hard to come by. Just happens to be now where the stars have aligned to be here.
In Boston, you mean?
Yes. Callisto reassures me that this is where we are. She reassured me to give such gifts. I parted with them with tears. Was the only way of you two to understand my sincerity and the importance of my quest.
Chris, well, epic fail on that part, but still. Oh, actually, probably if it worked perfectly with Shiv, but for Chris's part, it's like, what? Do you know in that case where in the city these might be found?
Yes, we think we do.
Inside in his mind, don't say couple, don't say couple, don't say couple.
Coppel is one of them. The other one is more complicated.
Sorry, I'm just doing some composure rolls.
The other one is more complicated indeed.
Well,
How so? And how may we aid you if that is obviously, if that is what the prince deems
Well, let's...
the right course?
Yes, before, and you see Callisto. Dearest Philip, let them speak. You speak too much. This is true. I'm very sorry. I'm all ears. And I understand it so much.
Well, first of all, let me say that, of course, any loyal supporter of the Camilla is welcome to visit Boston. And as you said, you have been more vetted than, dare I say, anyone else in this city ever has, and I do not, under any circumstance, distrust their findings or have any doubts about your loyalty whatsoever. As far as your religious belief, they are yours and you are entitled to them. They ruffle no feathers in mine, and if anyone else in this city has a problem with them, they can take it up with you personally, but I would deem it your right to believe in whatever you feel you believe, as long as you buy the laws of Carmilla, which you clearly do.
Thank you, Brent.
And in that part, I have no problem inviting you to stay in our fair city for a limited while at the very least. As you know, there are Some things one must consider when one grants someone right to stay as a guest. So I cannot promise you indefinite stay, but I see no problem in letting you stay for a few months, at least 2.
Oh, that's very generous. Very generous indeed.
Having said that, though, I do trust that we can be reassured that we will not see any repeats of Chicago.
No, no, of course not. The reason why I gave such lavish gifts was this because I also personally think I can aid you and help you as you help me.
I was a little curious about that. Just because they were so beautiful gifts as they were. Why would you pick these items? Why would you pick the item for me and the prince and not the other way around? Was there an intention behind that?
I didn't pick. Callisto did.
Well, dear Callisto, why did you choose the way you did?
The spirit told me to do so.
So no reason beyond that?
I do not know you. I only know what the spirits tell me. And the spirits told me that you had to have that piece. And he had to have that piece.
If I may, just one more. I do apologise for taking some time, Christopher.
Of course.
Oh no, but of course, it's after all, they are your guests as well. They're staying at your establishment.
How did these items serve you before? I guess they weren't just part of a grand collection. You had them and they provided you with something. Something more than just the rare value of them.
Who are you asking? A Castor or Callisto?
It's a general.
Generals, okay. And then
Yeah.
I think this is more of a you answering this. It's like, I think so. I think do darest. They are artifacts through my reincarnations since the splitting of the soul, belonging to this part of the soul that was deemed and condemned to walk eternal, never to rest.
Were you able to unlock the items yourself, or is that also lost?
Now you see he smiles and the eyebrows of the dead eye goes up. Of course, I know what I have given you, and I'm sure you are fascinated by it.
Well, giving gifts without the possibility of using them, it's a little, I'm not going to say rude, but it's almost like you're playing us.
I'm showing you one of the cards I have in my hand. You see, I wouldn't know if you were hostile to me, or if you would receive what I need to stay here. I had to entice you. These gifts are lavish, and you will never ever be given anything that can compare to them. I promise you this, and I will show you how to use them in depth. But you must understand, I will ask secrecy and trust in return.
You absolutely have it.
Good.
Which brings me to another part. As I said, I have no objections. In fact, I am glad to be able to offer you hospitality in our city. As far as your quest goes, though, you said there were 2 things. One was more complicated. We'll put that to the side for now. The other you said were somewhere. Do you know exactly where?
We think so.
Because there is a caveat here, I'm afraid. First of all, the area you speak of is the domain of the Nosferatu
Ah,
and the Queen of Bones.
complicated. I do not know this Queen of Bones, but it's a powerful name to have.
Oh, just call her Queenie. She'll be thrilled.
And secondly, there are things not tangential to your quest, but old things buried beneath that hill that are best left undisturbed. So if you're going to do anything there, there's two things I must ask of you, and these two cannot be negotiated nor altered or bargained away. First of all, one would need the goodwill of the Queen of Bones. After all, her domain, her rules. As a loyal supporter of the Carmilla, you're aware that these are the rules that we abide by, and I cannot, in good conscience, alter them for anyone, including myself, no matter how much I would like to.
Of course.
And the second be that you set no foot and do no searching in any area of Cobb Hill without the company of myself and or Siobhan here. If you can agree to these two things, I'm sure we'll be able to resolve this in an amicable matter.
I'm happy that we are not shown the door. This is more than we could have hoped for from a first meeting. This is good. I think Callisto says, this is good, Philip. This is so good. I thank you.
Oh, well, excellent. I am glad, and as I said, in that case, officially welcome to the city. I do assume that you are the only kindred among your...
I'm the only La Sombra.
That
yes.
does not
No.
exclude.
Pardon, he says. I am the only kindred.
Excellent.
The others are my
Excellent.
followers. They believe in me. They know what they need to know, and they are very much under my thumb. They are my herd, my believers. They have seen the truth in the gospel, as they understand it, but they do not breach the masquerade. I promise you this.
I'm glad, and I do not doubt your word on that. As I said, I cannot think of anyone offhand or even looking hard into my memory who has been vetted more thoroughly and completely than yourself.
I am very much relieved. And we are here to aid you in whatever personal endeavor that you might need of us.
It warms my heart to hear so. And
Yes.
when we are here
Callisto,
first,
it's like, yes. I am sure I need to speak with both of you.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
Good.
well, I mean, I am, of course, quite busy often, but maybe we could arrange a meeting already to the nice night. What about the night after tomorrow?
Whatever
suit?
suits you. Whatever suits you. We have yet to set up of course, I hope you understand, we do have the exhibition with the Red Mummy. You should come see it.
Yes, I have,
What
and I
exhibition
smile,
is
and I
this?
pull out the pamphlet. I have already perused your pamphlet. I'm looking forward to it most cherishly. And
It is the collection, Miss Price. And the part of me that I cannot reach yet. The Red Mummy.
This is exciting, but I do wonder why I wasn't informed about this. Or never mind, and I'll hand it
are
over
you
to
saying
Chris
that for
again.
once, Siobhan, I have gotten the upper hand in a matter of an exhibition?
How modern of you, Chris.
I
But I
feel
would
so
like,
then.
I would very much like to give you a private tour of the exhibition before anyone else gets to view it.
Oh, I'd be
Or
honored.
whoever you
I
deem.
would hope so.
Of course, of course, of course, of course.
But like I said, what about
And I can
the
explain
night of
your
tomorrow,
gifts, in a
Miss Callisto?
sense.
Perhaps
Not all, but a bit.
10
Where they
o'clock in
fit
the
in.
evening, if
Looking
that's not too
forward to
early?
that.
Excuse me, Prince, what?
So what about the night of tomorrow, if that suits you for a meeting? 10 o'clock, perhaps? Is that fine with the two of you? And he
That is
smiles.
Perfect. On that note, we're
Excellent.
going to have a quick break. I'm just going to say, we're just going to have a quick
Thank you.
break. Because I could see the... gotta go. Quick break, and then we'll be back. Bye! Hi, and welcome back from our little break. We cut off as the meeting is still going, but maybe it's fizzling out. We'll see. I think the prince wanted to say something before we
Yeah,
had a break.
he offered he tried to set up a meeting with offers to have a meeting with them if they needed to meet personally. Then not tomorrow night, but the night after.
And we are absolutely free to do so. And whenever you feel it's appropriate to see the collection, well, we want you to have the first look before we open it up to the public.
I don't know when this is suitable for you, Siobhan.
Any day, any time. You decide.
When do you plan on opening the... When was the date on the pamphlet that they spread out? Was that a week from now, or what
I
was
think
it?
so. Yeah, but he said
Yeah.
it is already almost ready. So it's absolutely up to whatever it suits you.
Tonight?
If that suits, of course.
If it's
It
not
will be a
too-
little bit rough around the edges, but yes, of course.
Perhaps we should give him a little time, Siobhan. I mean, after all, they have traveled long, probably to get here as well. Maybe tomorrow night would be better,
Well, I
giving you a
mean,
little bit more
I
time to
haven't
prepare.
experienced the exhibition eye. Maybe they would like some assistance.
If we could just be given an hour or two, just to make sure, like, there's not too much sawdust on the floors, that would be appreciated.
Of course, it doesn't have to be tonight.
It can
And
most,
didn't Chris? Didn't you say that you had other things? I'm sorry, I completely forgot.
Well, if we can wrap it up within about 2 hours time, I'm sure that would be fine.
Oh, excellent. Okay, excellent. Well, if you do so excuse me, and if it's to the prince's pleasure, that we might take a little herd and just make everything suitable for such pristine guests.
So, certainly, of course. So, in an hour then, we'll see you then.
In an hour.
He gives a smile.
Callisto smiles to both of you. Thank you so much for your kindness and time and understanding. It's more than what we have met in other cities.
Not at all. It's my great pleasure.
Boston is younger, more vibrant, a little bit more modern, I think.
You are definitely understanding and kind. She helps Castor to his feet And he's in an hour. Calissa, Dearest, we must make haste.
I'm assuming both Shiv and Chris remains in the room as they exit it. Or are you following them immediately?
No. I have no, I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh, they leave the room. The mystery and the occult fun of them all. Well, yes, it lingers in the room. Fascinating.
That was interesting, did you think?
Yes, interesting indeed. Indeed.
Is that your worried face, Chris?
Well, like I said, they have been known to cause a bit of a ruckus where they go.
Well, nothing you can't handle, is it?
I'm more concerned about them wanting to explore Cup Hill.
Yes. That's actually why I wanted to preview their exhibition sooner rather than later. Maybe there is something there that could angle us in the direction of what they really want. Because I'm not... It's not that I don't believe that they believed in it, but I'm not sure that I do. I find it fascinating, though. Truly fascinating. I mean, imagine if that was true. Imagine if that...
Cain had a lost child, a lost clan.
I mean, unimaginable possibilities. Don't you think?
Yes, it would be great fun, wouldn't it, if an antediluvian were to wake up in Boston? I think it would be much more a question of a nuclear going off in the kindred society, more thinking of like this mortal society nuking the kindred society. But yes, but I understand what you mean.
No, it
Who
was
knows?
most definitely not that plot that is fun. I mean, I don't necessarily chose this or wanted this, but I've learned to embrace it, and I do not want to see everyone stew. Is that truly what you think of me, Chris?
No. But I agree with you. I do not believe there is a chance of that happening, but no, I don't particularly necessarily believe. I mean, I thoroughly believe they believe it. Then again, the world is full of people with strange beliefs. But I mean,
Says a Catholic boy.
But I do agree with you that we should keep an eye out, and perhaps it would be a good idea for us to bring our gifts to the exhibition.
Oh, you caught that, did you?
Keeping secrets, Shiv. Oh, naughty.
Well, it's not secrets if you don't not divulge them. Some things. I wanted to see what yours were before I could figure out mine. Does that make sense to you?
Well, we had no idea where they came from. Sometimes prudence is, I guess, a good approach. There's a reason why I had you check it out.
Err on the side of cautious, are you?
Like I said, in my previous life, as you know, gifts were not necessarily
Chris, I was your other life.
Yeah, and you know that my family's, and I don't talk about my blood family, but my family approach to gift giving is more pound of C4 and the gas tank of your car.
Yes. If it wasn't so well made, if you do want it back, you can have it back, but I would like to keep it, and You could keep
Wait.
mine if I could keep yours, sort of thing. And
It
it's
seems
not
that they
because
have
I
put
just
some thought into giving those gifts, or at least, well, Miss Callista's given some thought into giving them if she really does commune with
something.
the other side.
We don't know what this. If it's not that, we don't know what it is though. But there is definitely more to these gifts than what their mere appearance seems to be. Yours have something hidden inside, and I think that's what I was trying to communicate without telling you during the meeting. It unlocks by blood, and as he said, his blood. But what it unlocks I cannot tell.
You know, there is it's an old tested way of getting people to acquiesce to what you want, is to whet their appetites with little tidbits at a time, promising them that someday they will give you the full answer, give you all that you ask for, but then always just stringing you along bit by bit with no intention of ever delivering on that
Not
promises.
thinking of any other situation to apply this to at all.
Me?
I don't think Chris doesn't necessarily knows what's going on between her and Hashimoto, but I think he has got at least he has a thought of what he thinks about it. Yes, but well,
But I will tell you
3 minutes.
No, I will not tell you.
No, we have 53
It's not
minutes.
interesting what I have to say, Chris. You can just go.
No, not at all. I'm sorry. I was just thinking out loud. It's been a strange night. You were saying.
No, what I wanted to say, and I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to tell you this, but you might as well know it. Your gift spoke to me in the most warming of ways. And mine did not. Mine, it was a fearful one. And I wonder what reactions you might have to these subjects. You don't share my gift, but still, maybe there is something unlocked by seeing them, touching them.
Technically, on another side of the matter, like that's completely out of game. I think Chris is interested in learning the art of presence at one point. So he's good. At one point, he needs to nibble on someone with that gift. But anyway, well, perhaps we should retire to your quarters and have a look at them. Are they still at the York or?
They're upstairs.
Well, let's go out and look at them. I just have to have a quick chat with my entourage first and send them on their way. Of course,
and we have to thank Alexander for being a gracious host tonight. Can you please do that for me before you leave?
I will.
Thank you.
And he goes and he'll first thank Alexander in proper manner, but from him and Shiv sense of regard as well. Then he'll go and talk to Savage and Mr. Winter and thank them both for. Apparently, we probably should roleplay that because there might be some givings to letting them stay.
Well, Miss Savage is miffed and annoyed of this absolutely gigantic waste of her personal time. Christopher, I do appreciate you bringing me into important dealings within the city, but then I kind of want to be there for the dealings. And if you don't need me for anything else right now, I have a meeting I'm now half an hour late for.
No, I'm sorry. I could not foresee how this going, but rest assured that your presence lends more weight to a meeting than many persons' long speeches.
Oh, you know how to sliver yourself back into my good graces, don't you? And she's almost like she fiddles with Jack. Oh, why do I find you so fascinating and fun, Christopher? You should come see me again soon. Taps. We had so much fun last time. Mm-hmm.
I will, my dear.
And she's like, well, to Lou, say hi to the whatever. Clearly none of our business. De Winter, pleasure. Bye. And she's off.
Bye.
De Winter is
I granted them stay for about a month or 2 months. I know what you're going to say, but I mean, these people are clearly more cracked than porcelain that's been handled by longshoremen.
But I will in due time then I will call on them
Excellent.
just to make
But I
sure.
believe they are on a mission of such importance to themselves that a refusal would not keep them from pursuing their goals. It's better to have them under control.
I just want to be reassured that they are no more a threat than they were in the past. If it so
Good.
pleases the prince.
Oh, it pleases me very much. I'm very glad you say so, and I have the utmost confidence that if anyone could sniff out if there's really are anything nefarious, yeah, you be the person to do so.
Thank you so much for the trust, Prince. And if there is
Excellent.
anything, I will relay it to both you and Nightingale.
Excellent. And they did reassure me that they would avoid turning this into another Chicago. So there's that at the very least.
Yes. Well then, I will take my leave, Prince. I'm guessing
Thank you very
Shiv is
much.
also standing there with Alexander, and she comes over. Primogen,
Do it,
Happy? I'll bid you good evening.
Good evening.
Savage just went. She was like, bye.
Did not expect anything less. Or more. Didn't expect anything more.
And Alexander just whispered, well, maybe tomorrow evening we could have a little chat.
Of course. Anything on your mind?
No, I'm just fascinated and we need gossip.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Do let me know if everything is in order upstairs. If there's anything
yes.
missing.
Not that upstairs.
Or left. His old apartment.
Yes, I'm sure you want to clean it out at some point because I have used some of it.
Oh, I thought I had people doing that. Have they not been here?
No,
Someone needs to be reprimanded. Thank you for that.
of course. Well, I want to set up for other. Was it not punters?
Once again, thank you very much, Alexander.
Of course, my liege. As my pleasure it is.
Thank you, dear.
As always.
And JJ, I'll be staying here for about 2 hours before I need to leave. If you have errands to do or anything else you need to do in the meantime, feel free.
Appreciate it, my liege.
Thank you. But do please pick me up again later. I have something I need to talk to you about.
Of course. On that note, I'm gonna just fast forward you upstairs.
Fascinating. So you got a painting and I got a beetle.
Well, I think I appreciate your scarab more than you. This is a scarab, Chris. It's an insect from Egypt. You know this.
Yes, but it's a beetle, isn't it? I mean, isn't beetles ones with 6 legs and they eat there's something else? Didn't pay that much attention in bio, to be honest.
Chris, it's key to its understanding.
You knew I got a D in biology, despite your best efforts.
I do.
The scarab still sings to you, Shiv. It sings how good you felt holding it. The promise it kept.
So you say there's something inside of it.
The painting on the hand felt daunting, fearful.
Do I feel anything from these things? I mean, because Chris is generally wondering, did he react to the gift, or was he more worried by getting something he didn't understand from someone he didn't know, and then reacting to Shiv's reaction?
Well, are you actually doing anything about it? That's not like, are you touching it?
Pick it up and look at it.
The scarab.
Yeah.
It feels lighter than it should do based on the glass and the gold and the metal on it.
I think it's other feelings he wants to feel.
Oh, no.
No. Well, it is exquisite, I won't deny that. You say it's... Oh, yes, is it locked? I will turn it around, looking for... She said it was somewhere possible to open it.
He fiddles with it. It makes you a little bit nervous, actually. Because if he breaks it's gone.
be
It's gone
careful.
for good.
What? And Chris is going to be such an asshole. He's going to, like, pretend that it almost slips out of his hand.
Then I'm going to
And then
use
just
celerity to
Yeah.
kind of like rapid reflexes and like grab it if that is what. But I'm guessing, are you actually doing it or are you just testing?
No,
it?
it's like
Because-
slipping out in one hand, but he's got like,
Oh, that's
he's
so
controlled
dirty.
like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that will create a reaction regardless.
Yeah.
Because it actually triggers a fear response in new ship. The beast screams.
I have 4 successes. Oh, sorry, it's just a normal one. It was
No,
on the
Max.
red, but it wasn't on the.
There wasn't the
It was not in any good
but
storyteller type.
you actually managed to grab it before he grabs it. Like, what the fuck?
Careful, I said.
Shiv.
Her eyes have looked worried, actually. Like you were gonna drop a baby. It's like, and you're kind of feeling he was gonna drop it if he crushes it. That's bad. That's like you feel actually saddened about it getting destroyed.
Please, be careful. Maybe this is not. Maybe you are not the right person for this gift, Chris.
Yes. Continue with that train of thought and justification. And with that, he walks over towards the painting instead, looking at it. Desert landscape.
Oh,
I still have this now.
When he gets there. When he gets there, I want a wit's insight.
For me or for her?
For you.
I hold it again close to my heart as he.
And that feels natural. It's very natural.
3 successes.
As you walk towards it, you see the sands and the red moon. It's almost, for a minute, it looks like you're looking into a window. Almost like you could hear wind.
His hand just stretches out towards the painting. Can I feel the wind?
I'm
You're not
paying
sure
very
if you-
much attention to
You're
him.
not sure if your mind's playing tricks on you, but there is a breeze.
What do you see, Chris?
Well, the desert landscape with a moon.
No, there is something more. I can see it. I can sense it.
I guess most peculiarly painted. I mean, it's almost like it's
It's so realistic, it's ridiculous to you.
yeah, it's
It's like you can't even see paint strokes.
I mean, I know you don't appreciate
it's more like a
art, but
photograph
this is
almost
something
than
speaks to you in a way.
well, it's a photograph. Like almost, it's so real. It's
It
like
is not.
it's like no matter
No.
where you walk in the room, the wind follows you.
How does that feel, Chris? And I mean this genuinely. Like, what feelings does it invoke in you?
Pleasant. Very pleasant.
Well, I don't. Well, it's a pleasant view, is it not?
It's not what you're feeling, but it's like it's pleasant.
It's maybe there's something to this art after all. I can begin to see this and that beautiful painting you gave me, Shiv. I think I might be starting to get this art thing. Again, he reaches out and let my finger trace the frame,
this-
not the picture itself, but the frame.
You feel weird when you're doing it. You can't
Weird.
describe that. Like
Right.
like your finger vibrates on the wood itself. Like
Walk
you feel
closer.
you just feel strange when you're this close to it.
Walk close, like standing like that from it, and he just close his eyes and listen. It's almost like you can hear the wind. You said like, and then take a deep breath, like not a breath, but a deep sniff, like a smell.
What's the first memory he has? Wind. Warm.
Fascinating.
What's the first memory he has? I need it. First memory.
First memory of
From Chris.
like from the first thing you can remember from when he was a
Warm.
kid.
Yeah, warm. Warm winds. Sun. Sand.
I think probably his father holding him up towards the sun on the beach.
Does he
Like
open
when
his
he was
eyes?
so young, like too young to remember really, but sort of more of just the feeling. It's like really remember being locked out.
Does he open his eyes?
Yeah.
For a split of a second. Ship, you do not see this. You see it from your childhood perspective. You're staring at the sun. You feel your father's arms around you. You just feel it. You feel almost like you're there. You know you're looking at it, but you.
Frightening. It's not. The sun doesn't frighten. Doesn't.
No.
It just warms. It feels pleasant. Okay, that's true.
It just feels like you are in a memory, but you're looking at it at the same time. It's bizarre. You can hear like other children laughing, bikes going past, the ruckus of life. And as soon as you've seen it, boof, right straight back to the red sun, no, the red moon, and the sand in the desert plain.
Interesting. Those crafty little bastards.
Did you do an insight on him, Jim?
I was thinking about it. I just wasn't sure if I was allowed, since you said you're not seeing this. I was like, am I not seeing him, or am I not? I understand that I didn't see what was
for
going
like
on.
2 or 3 seconds,
Okay.
he's stalking it, and then he's just staring into it, like it's speaking to him. He doesn't
9.
do art. He's lost in something's happening with him and the object. It's very clearly he has some sort of a response, like you did with the scarab. You've clearly been giving the wrong gifts.
And that's when you hear when it actually says not out loud, but not loud, like just barely audible. It's like those crafty little bastards.
But you felt so good. You felt like your father's strong arms. You felt the naive feeling of being a child, and hopeful and joy, and the sun, and like promise of youth.
Like,
happy.
And I don't think Chris thinks at all that have given the wrong gifts to the wrong people by mistake. Oh no, these are sly people one are dealing with, slyer than he first thought.
But Chris, this clearly gives you something that your gift didn't. And this is exactly
the same way my gift gave you something, you mean?
I believe so. It seems like that is the case. Because that seemed intimate, what you just saw. And I don't mean to be presumptuous, but you were a little lost there, weren't you?
A little
and
trip
for
down
the very
memory lane.
Anything good? Any of me?
More about me.
I'll keep that one for myself if you don't mind.
Of course.
But I do believe.
Why are they giving us gifts that invokes
this type of emotion?
I'm giving that which elicit emotions from me to you and vice versa. Oh, there's some ploy here, some.
I want to speak with Miss Callisto, and I want to do it promptly. Would you mind if I did it before you speak with her?
Oh no, my meeting for is set for 2 nights' time. That's fine. Go ahead and talk to her when you feel like.
Oh, but you were going to go see the exhibition
Yeah.
in an hour.
In how many minutes are we
but
in that,
that's
Taylor?
different than having a private meeting with her. Yeah.
How many minutes are that? Till it starts?
Oh, you right about now, you look at the time, you better get to the car to get there.
Chris,
we might need to leave.
Well, we can. I can drive. We're gonna have Eve drive us. That's fine. If you don't mind.
Eve? Okay. No, that's fine.
Who's Eve?
You know who she is.
I think Chris just refers to us number 3. This is number 3, right? He stopped trying to remember their names. I'm sorry. He's assumed don't get attached. There's no point.
But Chris,
yes, of course.
What do we do with these gifts? I mean,
Maybe you were not
keep
too
on to
mistaken in your suggestion of you keep mine and I keep yours.
Yes. And once
in
we
that way,
truly
they
know
don't
the
have
meaning.
complete. Exactly. In that way, they don't have quite the edge on us that I believe they think that those gifts would. I think they wanted us to keep guessing and thinking and wondering
Stas,
more
you plucked the thought out of my mind. Let's do that. I'll have Adnan deliver it. The mansion
Excellent.
or your apartment? Where do you?
Probably the mansion. I do believe it would fit better in those surroundings. Though I would perhaps feel more comfortable having it in my private abode. But we'll keep it at the mansion for now. Also, because Chris is a bit paranoid still and doesn't want anything
And I was like, do you want it close to Montgomery? Sure.
you speak on this as you move.
Yeah, definitely.
You know they because you read the pamphlet. As I said to you, the exhibition was like in the bottom of Cop Hill, on that side, and it is a massive tent.
So like a freaking carnival.
So it's not full on circus, but not far off. It's not circus is huge. This is more like the Victorian-esque feel to it.
I'm
not
thinking
freak show,
yeah.
Not full on freak show, a bit more lavish than that. But it has that old world exhibition, or like the yearly exhibition of weirdness feel to it.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris he notices and looks at the tent, but then I think his eyes are drawn upwards towards the top of the hill. And
even you're a little bit far off it because it's not in. It's just in the outer rims of Cop Hill.
And I was subconsciously, it's like.
But that place is bad. It's just bad. It's kissing the outer rims of her territory. It's not on the Queen of Bones territory, but it's literally kissing the edge.
And Shiv is just trying not to think about what happened in there. That's my go-to.
But you're both staring at it, and it's like it's just almost like the ground itself is corrupt and wrong. And you're too close to something that's so horrible. You both saw it. There's a reason why he's got a grey streak. Because you stared at it. And you almost lost your minds. Like the madness that lays now. Is it dormant? Is it what is it? Is it just a hole into where bad things live? Or is there something still living there?
Bottomless pit straight to hell. Like I said, I do not wish to think of them tramping around up there by themselves. But maybe we got lucky and the Queen of Bones will refuse them to set foot on her domain.
I don't want to be here, to be completely honest. I thought it would be fine after so many years, but
Still not. Still never will be.
There's
I
nothing
actually don't think
fine
I'll ever
about
want
this
to
place.
set my foot here again.
It's also a horrible reminder to what has been done to the who you love. You love Aiden, who's cursed by the fucking thing and the things that live there or lived there. All of your makers was
And then I also
ruined by that
think-
corruption.
To William,
And yes. And it keeps going. It doesn't stop. The corruption just takes on new forms, a new life. It finds way. It's like darkness will live just as much as life and light will. It finds a way.
You know, we know what the saying is. Light thinks it's the fastest thing that there is, but wherever it goes, it always finds that the darkness is there before it.
Yes.
after you, Chris. I
Let's
always
get this
feel
show on the
safer with
road.
you one step ahead of me.
You see a really old, actually Victorian plaque. It's like the Red Mummy. And the antiquity from ancient times.
How quaint. Could have helped them. Spruce this up. Oh well, no, never mind.
Well, you see, actually, Miss Callisto stands there. She's now wearing like a half knitted black sweater over her very pinkish skin-colored top. And she bows. Very deep and very gracefully.
Good to see you again. Good.
And you, please, the exhibition is not at its full vigor, but at least you can have a gander.
I'm sure we will be most impressed.
We're not
Please,
here for perfection.
Life isn't perfect.
Exactly.
Life is crooked, scarred, sometimes very broken.
And aren't really interesting if it isn't.
Perfection is an illusion, and it's a crutch of the weak. Don't you think? Please, leave your worries at the door and enjoy the art and the life of an affair.
Thank you for
Kane's
having us.
lost child.
Give a smile and let her show us in. Her take the lead.
There's a ton of Egyptian antiquity, busts, slabs of glyphs, and images of this king, this Nefer Amenhotep. And she speaks of him that he created a lost city. The most beautiful of cities, the most modern of city in Egypt. He was the most beloved of the pharaohs, and all the gods adored him, revered him. He created temples to all of them, more lavish and beautiful than anyone else.
I tried.
Yeah.
No, I just tried rolling academics for seeing if Shiv knew anything, but I had 2, so I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
Never heard of this.
Nope.
This Nefer Amenhotep doesn't. In your art history of Egyptian culture and art, never heard of him. These glyphs, you've never seen these. These slabs, these statues of him, never seen them.
No.
And there's nothing familiar about these glyphs in any way, are
Nope.
there?
None of them. And it's like, she said, this is his life before he was the first. He had many wives and he had many children. But there was only one that he loved above all. It was his priest, his seer, his seeker, his knower. And he was called Sit Kamas, who I firmly believe I am a reincarnation of.
So what do you prefer us calling you? By that name or your current one?
I live in the Callisto form. Sit Kamas was someone I was. As I have been 100 different. But now I am her. She smiles at you and almost like grabs your hand. Like again, when you feel it, it's like almost like the warmth and the intensity. Almost like you feel Trixie standing in front of you. Almost like she's water. Almost like she's something in between. Everything changed. She walks through like big rows, like red carpet on the floor. The tent feels bigger than it is. It just feels bigger. The legend goes, as I have seen, and the stones tell me, at the greatest peak of his becoming, he thought the gods asked him to sacrifice one of his children. There was famine in the land and people were dying in mysterious ways. And he was sure that Anubis himself told him to sacrifice one of his children. It was not Anubis speaking to Nefer, Amenhotep. A new god saw the greatness in him. And when Anubis did not answer his plight and his distress, Cain did. And Cain blessed him with the blood. And he was one of the first, one of his lost children. In the greatest city ever built in Egypt, now lost to time. And he rose, and he ruled well. And his father left to wander the earth as he did, leaving his child in his kingdom. The old gods, as she's looking at different facts. Anubis, Ra, Osiris, vengeful and angry that he had left them, cursed Nefer Amenhotep and divided his spirit in two. Because he was blessed with the god Cain, he would always be eternal. So one part would be forever reborn, the other petrified in his shape. And as you did that, you're walking towards a ruby-colored, sand-colored tomb. It is huge, but it's also beautiful, and it's got two gods, which are two very classical Egyptian temple grave guards. Like it's two Anubis standing, like two warriors looking down at it. It is spectacular.
I did an insight roll just to see if she actually believes what she's telling.
100%.
Yep.
What she's selling right now.
It's what I'm expecting, but I just had to.
And here he lies, and she goes on knees, and she's like touching the sarcophagus. His petrified form lay sleeping, denied to be whole, forever cursed and punished by the old gods. So she gets up and she actually wipes a tear.
Offer her a handkerchief.
Too kind. Because my love was reborn so many times, There's countless of artifacts, books, music, poetry, and trinkets. Because his soul was divided, longing to be whole, it created all these gifts. And then she's going down another hole, and it's a plethitude of different weird objects. Singing, you're not sure if something's magic or not. It's just a matter of paintings. It's scriptures, artifacts, sculptures. It's shitloads.
So if I use Auspex sense unseen,
Oh, things there are singing and moving.
6 successes.
Oh, there's a painting. There's a weird black box.
Yeah, because I think the reason why I'm using it is to like, is this junk or is this again?
No.
Is this
Some
in
is
fact
probably
what she's
some is not magical, at least. If it's something else, if it's like it's just smart as shit, but some of it has that
extra?
vibration and purple hue around it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in going into details with anything. I just want to like do a radar
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, your radar check saying like, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
But do you look at the red sarcophagus?
Yes, definitely.
It just feels dead. Dead as a doorknob. Nothing.
Nothing. So not even magical, like
Nope.
nothing.
Nothing.
But the objects, some of the objects, they
Some of them
radiate.
is, yeah.
Okay.
And this is just a short and sweet story of the great lost child of Cain.
That's beautiful, but
Fascinating.
oh so
Absolutely
tragic.
fascinating.
And this was your lover.
Yes.
I'll go over and I'm just kind of, I'm guessing she's standing in front. I'm just like putting a hand on her shoulder. I do understand that feeling.
As you touch it, you see her eyes all back. Oh. Oh, my heart bleeds. She talks to you, doesn't she? She's so angry. I feel bad for you, Miss Price, to carry that bird. I can help you with her.
I'll detach and step away. What did you say was over here? And I'll turn and I'll go towards one of the items that was shining.
That's a box thingy, butticky poppy thingy. And she's like, oh, I think I missed that. And you, Christopher, standing there as Shiv, just like, nah, not dealing with that shit.
Yeah. He's like, of course, intrigued by her, but also when he sees Shiv's reaction, like, so she does, because that's sort of like clearly something there. Strange.
Okay, I'll do. Yeah, and that was completely correct. What I was just did.
Well, this is all very fascinating. Indeed. And he smiles.
She walks over to you, she looks you up and down, and she grabs your hand again. Again, you feel like your beast's like, no! Oh! It's like shouting. It's too much. But she still does it, and it's almost like you can't even fight her doing it. She just grabs it.
Look her straight in the eye and just loses himself in those dark pools.
Oh, Prince. Such darkness follows your footsteps, doesn't it?
some are born to sweet delight, and some are born to endless night.
This is true. But it's also true that all things, even if you live in the shadows, deserve affection and love. You see, goodness and evil, they follow one another. They're part of existence. We are neither perfectly evil or perfectly good. You do not deserve to live in perfect anguish just because you are what you are.
Very true. Very true.
She leans in, and when she leans in, it's like the beast then he sits there, and you can hear just a growling, full on serial killer creepiness. She leans in, and you can feel the little hairs from her cheek almost brushing yours.
I made a real check. Still only a 2.
We can maybe help you with your problem, Prince. Nefer
Looks at her.
Amenhotep, Philip Castor. He knows the netherworld. Your tormentor might be disconnected from you.
He takes his hand up and puts it on her shoulder. Let us hope, but perhaps we shall talk about it when we meet.
Of course. I'm sorry. I think I must be overstepping, but you too. You walk in the in-betweens. The spirits are crowded around you.
The price one pays for being the ones that must do that which must be done.
The responsibility you carry.
Yes, not alone though. Yeah, the responsibility that a few of us here in this city shoulder on our weight, bear the weight on our shoulders for.
Well, you will need one another, you know. I know sometimes the river runs high and cruel and forcefully brutal, but sometimes it's just a mere stream, a trickle, easy to step over.
True that.
Don't live in a house of just dark rooms, my prince. I live it clear with my Nefer Amenhotep.
Well, I'm sure some sunlight will soon shine upon this city. Now that it's been graced with such prominent guests.
I do hope you're not insulted. She also shouts out that it was mere me doing the tour. I'm a little more light-footed than Mr. Castor.
Oh,
Philip.
of course. No problem at all. We have enjoyed the tour in your company, my dear.
Is still Shiv standing with her back to it, like, no.
She is just like looking at random shit and just like not paying attention to those two. Yeah.
But the night grows late.
Of course, yes. But now you have seen it. And if you're ever more curious about the Red Mummy, please, I am an open book.
Oh, I'm sure I would love to grace this fine exhibition at least once or twice before you pack it up and leave.
Oh, she grabs you again. Thank you, Prince. And when she grabs, again, it's like, why are you tempting the beast? It's like almost like the beast saying, do you want to die? It's like almost like, why are you playing this game with me? You will find only death here.
Getting hungry.
But this is what you feel from the beast. The beast is like,
Oh, yeah.
it's not enough just to taste this girl. You want to consume her. It's like an absolute... It's like if you ever watched the movie Perfume or read the book, it's like you want to own every part of her, and just seeing her and tasting her will not be enough. You want to consume even her soul. And that will satisfy the beast. It's like it's screaming at you that's what it wants. It wants that. It wants it so bad.
Well, with that, I think I'll beg your leave.
Please call upon us again, and we'll see you in a night or two.
Excellent. And do enjoy what this fine city has to offer.
Oh, I'm sure we will try. We will be busy with the exhibition, and other things. Hopefully.
Sure.
What?
Shall we leave? It's getting late.
Yes.
And we might not turn into pumpkins if we do not return in time, but definitely small piles of dust.
True. Very true.
And
I'll,
that thinks back to the feeling of sunlight on his face. And is lost in that little moment of reverie.
I'll just look over my shoulder and bow to her. Not saying anything,
then she
but...
goes. Then she bows a bit lower.
I'm just thinking, don't go that deep, but that's fine. And then I'll just leave with Chris.
Yeah. See if we can find a way out again of this tent.
And it is easy now. It's just one really large red carpet alley. It's like, why did it feel so grand? Maybe it was because she told the story and you got lost in your mind's eye and seeing this great city that's lost in the plains of Egypt, in the sands. Like looking upon this great pharaoh sacrificing his child on great steps to please some gods that are not listening, and then finding someone else answering.
I will, before we leave, I will take to my ear, and if I can sneakily disconnect my earring without Chris seeing it. I don't know if I need to roll on that, or...
I think he's kind of lost within his fucking mind
right?
with beast.
I don't think he's paying attention to that.
Murder!
And
then I'll just...
his head is somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which we will get to.
And I will actually drop it, on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will not do anything else about it. Yeah.
Well, then we're going to do the last little scene of this episode. As you're walking outside, you hear storm clouds actually in the horizon. Maybe it's just because you're at Cop Hill.
Narrative causality at work.
It's
Well,
the feeling this place gives. It's nightmare fuel. That night will be with me forever. Why? Why does it feel like that, Chris? Oh, can we please just go?
yes, let's put some distance between us and this place. That hill is blasted heath. And I don't know, it left marks on our shiv, and I don't think we'll ever be rid of it. Not as long as it's still there, slumbering.
I know what you're saying is true. I just wish it wasn't.
That which is not dead but dreaming, and in time, even death may die. Yes. let's just keep focused on something else and get us away from this place. Yes.
Thunder in the horizon and the lightning brights up the night sky. And for a minute, Shiv, in the corner of your eye, you see a black figure standing on Cop Hill staring down at you. When you see it, your beast screams and hides. When you blink, it's gone. But there was nothing there.
And it wasn't William, it was just something else.
Black figure.
Right.
Getting in the car on the passenger side, sitting there looking out the window.
And it's
clutching in his
Aiden's
hand
old
the
Firebird.
handkerchief.
Sneaky bastard.
Oh yeah. And after she's driven a couple of blocks, I think he actually is gonna say, "You actually know what, Shiv? I think I need some fresh air before turning in tonight. I'll walk from here."
You sure?
Yes. We'll
I mean,
We'll
I
talk
don't mind
tomorrow.
driving you home.
No, I need to wash the memory of that place from my mind, and a little walk around the city and its sights will do that fine.
Make sure
Take
you're
care.
safe, right? Yeah.
I will, and if it takes long enough, if
Old
it's fine, I'll
habits.
call JJ to get it. Indeed.
Of course.
Good night.
I see you soon,
should I say-
brother.
Or likewise, sister.
Well,
And he goes out, and she drives off his stance a little while, and then again takes the hang shift.
oh, you dirty fuck. And the bees growl. And the beast
Time
wants.
to feed.
You have to say that that's desire. If you want her or not. If you can't have her, someone else will do just fine. For now.
Indeed. And it's not merely a question of want, it is most
Need.
definitely need.
So Chris is gonna now, as I end the scene, he walks into the night, leaving the more kind, human kindred. No, human Chris, a little bit further back in his mind. And the beast is allowed to take the driving seat for a bit. Shiv, on the other hand, as she drives, a scream of the beast. And you saw that figure, but was it really there? Or was it just a memory? It unsettles you, and you don't understand why. Like something is hidden. But if you try to focus on it, it's like all the memories of the figure, it slips. Like when you're waking from a dream. You remember it vividly for 2 seconds, but then it slips.
Just want to get home. Get a warm bath.
And hold the scarab.
This is going so well.
Oh yeah.
No, but
We're
also, but Shiv
boned.
is also filled actually with hope, and she hasn't, even though that was a scary thing, being to Cop Hill. You don't understand why, but I don't know, maybe it's seeing them, seeing her, seeing this. Can't explain it. Gives her something. But on that note, I'm gonna end the episode.
It's only been like 3 hours,
Oh,
so
I know. I keep prattling on when I just have, but how to do it. And we had to have a break. And
it was so much fun.
I thought
as
that.
always,
Thank
yeah.
you. Oh yes, we're doing like a little bit of like a more occult, almost like a little bit of Cthulhu-esque storyline.
I mean, I
Yes.
love that we're diving into the little bit more Lyle based part of Vampire, which I just recently dived into, so I think I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's like I do.
Which prince wouldn't be happy to have the Black Pharaoh visiting his city with all his little contraptions?
Red Pharaoh. Red.
Yes.
Pharaoh.
Potato.
Tomato. Well,
And right next
it
to
would,
Cophill.
yeah, it would be
Yeah.
horrifying if it was a lost child of Cain.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Now let's sort up.
But whatever it is, it's fascinating, to say the least. And if they just sellouts, like fanatics, good for them. If they can be helpful, tip top, thumb up. We'll see.
Can I do one thing before she goes to bed? Can she drop a note?
To
Miss Callisto? For a little one-on-one the next night?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Thank you.
Stop.
Thank you.
On that note, thank you so much to my players. This was the fun. We did occult stuff. We did lore stuff. I'm here for it. And
some Chris stuff.
Some Chris stuff. He nasty, but we love him. And to your viewers, thank you so much for coming like that. Follows, and if you should Chris eat Callisto or not? That's how
No, before Shiv is done with her. That's all. Then
but
then he can eat. Then he
should
can.
he? Maybe it will be a good meal. Who knows? Maybe should not. He's kept his humanity fairly intact, so maybe this is what's gonna F him up. We'll see.
I mean, if it's just reincarnated old stuff, then maybe not.
No, she's getting reincarnated anyways. It doesn't matter. Get out of real jail free card. Not if he consumes the
I'm
soul.
on a technicality.
I've got you on technicality. But on that note, please stay safe and take care of one another. And until next time, bye.
Bye.